Recently, Revell released a couple Fast and Furious kits. These kits have been out before, mostly have been released in the US in the US versions, the smaller square boxes. The kits are pretty much the same, maybe some sprue colors and decals have changed, but overall they should be pretty similar. Now, some of these kits have been going for crazy prices as they have been harder and harder to get, so it's really good to see that these kits are back on the market and available for fair prices again. So they asked me to just unbox these and eventually do builds on them too. For now, I'm just going to go through all of the boxes in separate videos and show you guys what these kits are about and get you excited to build your own. So let's have a look inside of the kit. From one of the most recent Fast and Furious movies, I think this is 7 or maybe 8. I'm probably wrong, but I've lost count so far of how many movies there have been, and there will probably be a couple more. But this is one of the most recent cars that has been brought out into actual kit form. It is the basic 71 Plymouth GTX, but then with a couple modifications. I think the hood, the wheels, some decals, and some other parts all around, but that's probably it. The base kit has been available in other versions, but of course without these custom parts to make it look a bit more like the movie car. Now, it still isn't a perfect replica, as it's basically the base car with a couple add-ons. I know that the rear bumper and taillights are incorrect, so if anyone is really good with 3D modeling and would like to model up the actual rear end that was on the movie car, please let me know down in the comments below, because I would love to upgrade it and make it a bit more correct than right out of the box. Now let's see what's inside and then go over the parts in a bit more detail. So when looking at the instructions, you quickly notice that you can build it into a stock street version. All of the parts are included and also highlighted in the instructions to know which parts to use when and for which build. But you can of course also replicate the movie car, and therefore there are some other parts included too. Now, a couple of the parts of course are the standard parts for both cars, so they need to be used anyway. The chassis on this one, just like a lot of the muscle cars from Revell, are really nicely detailed. It has a lot of plain details already in there, some of the lines, of course all of the moldings and other stuff, which is really cool. On the interior side, there are even more details too. It does have a nice pattern in the seats already, and all of the stitching all around is nicely molded in too. So just like the chassis, all of the other components that are going to go onto the chassis have equally nice details all around. Now this kit has been produced for a number of years already, so the molds might be a little bit worn out, and therefore some of the mold lines are a bit bigger than usual, but no big deal, just scrape them off and maybe even give it a little sand and you're good to go. There are a couple more mixed sprues. One has the hood on it, some engine components, and also the backside of the stock wheels. The inside of the hood also has some nice detailing in it, so you would need to paint both sides to make it look nice and clean. The engine on this one is a pretty big piece. It is made out of 2 halves, so those need to be joined. A lot of parts are already molded onto it, like the oil pan and some of the other parts for the transmission. So a seam line will probably be visible and needs to be filled and sanded to make that look nice and smooth. Some other components for the engine, I think this is part of the air cleaner, are here too. The valves and some other components for the exterior, like the small lips on the front bumper and the stock spoiler, are here as well. The main interior tub is molded in one big piece. The door panels are already installed, and so is the center console. So for the carpeting, that makes it a little bit harder, as there are a couple more parts to work around, but it is good to see that all of the details are in here. And even on the door panels, normally these would be pretty flat and plain pieces if they are already molded together with the main tub, but this time around a lot of detail has still been held in there, and it's really good to see that all that attention was paid here too. One of the sprues that probably is unique to this kit and is a fresh sprue is this one. It has the nice new big wheels, a couple components for the front suspension, and also some new disc brakes, which look really good. They have a lot of detail in them for the caliper, and also the disc itself is nicely detailed, slotted and drilled too. And that is from both sides, by the way. So another sprue that is interchangeable between both kits and is required if you're going to be building the stock one is the Chromepart sprue. It has the stock wheels from the original car and some other components all around that are the stock ones too, but they can be used on the Fast and Furious version as well. Now, one of the parts I know for sure is incorrect is this rear bumper, as this is just the stock one, and I think the movie one is a lot different and maybe even from another year GTX and not from this one. So that is the part I'd be looking to change. If someone can provide me with the 3D files, I can just print out a new one, but maybe that's not as easily said as done. So with 2 versions of this kit being included, you also get new tires for those new bigger wheels, which have a nice thread pattern on them and also are different sizes front and rear. The rear ones are a bit bigger and fatter, and of course you get the stock ones as well from the original version, which are a bit smaller but have a thicker sidewall and a thinner tire. A small sprue with Clearparts is also included. You just get the front window, the rear window, and some of the lenses for the lights. So the cool thing about this being a 2-in-1 kit is you get decals for both versions. The stock one has a nice wood grain for the center console, even the door panels and the dashboard, a lot of the gauges, some decals for inside of the engine bay, some decals for the exterior, and a couple fun license plates. And on the top side, you of course have the one for the Fast and the Furious version with a lot of the aftermarket part decals, some for the calipers, even the cool stripes on the side, and various other components all around. With this being a decal sheet from Revell, Germany, you know the quality is really high, and I look forward to using a lot of these, as they will probably be a real breeze. And the final big part for this one is the body. This is a really big car, probably in 1:1 scale too, but scaled down to 1/25th, it's not a small one either. It has a lot of the details already molded in for a couple of 3D emblems, the side markers, the door handles, and even a small lock for on the door too. The panel lines seem to be really crisp. They aren't really that deep, so a bit of scribing is probably necessary, and a couple of mold lines are here as well, but they are located in really easy to get spots, so it's probably not too much work to remove those and get them cleaned up. The engine bay is partly molded in two. You have both sides with the battery, some other components, even the locking mechanism, and there is a cowl here for on the underside of the windshield in as well. The molding around the windows is pretty shallow, so that will definitely need some scribing before painting. Otherwise, that is probably going to be gone after a couple coats of paint. Otherwise, it's looking really good. On second thought, I looked at a couple reference photos and I noticed that the side needs to be modified too. A couple parts might need to be shaved, like the underside of the side panel, and probably around the wheel wells there is some modification required too, but that will all be sorted out in due time if I decide to build this later on in the year. Driveline or the axle? Nope.